Be live.
It's nice. It's nice to just be able to press a button and be live.
Finally.
Is it crazy though?
What,
That was, yeah, it is crazy. But at the same time, there was none of that like 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Where it was just like barely starting. Like now you can just go live. It's a button. That's fascinating.
Fascinating.
But I'm easily amused also, right? So I wouldn't worry.
Thursday night, and welcome to Well Seasoned Facebook Live. Welcome to our cooking class here in our kitchen. I've been looking forward to this all day. Looking forward to food, glass of wine.
Let's just take a sip. That smells delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Oh man!
So welcome here.
What's 2016? That's right.
It's a good one.
So good.
How are you, Dee?
Good.
Good.
Good. And I'm having a good week, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing weird happened. Life is as is.
Got his credit rating back.
Got my new iPhone.
He's off the lid. That's good.
Gaining more and more weight.
All the pasta and bread you're making.
I've
It's
been-
killing me.
Actually, I should make it again. It is, you know how they say, boys or girls lie, but carbs don't.
Apparently COVID carbs don't count. So,
I don't know. We also are way more less judgmental of the fat now. I think. Can I say that?
since COVID?
No, not since COVID, but
Oh,
like
just
in the
in
last
general.
3-4 years, now you see models that are look like normal people rather than mannequins.
Like you and me, basically.
I don't think I still qualify for that. They still look good, but they're like oversized now, or what considered weird. Anyway, let's just stop this conversation.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how we ended up here. Carbs, I guess. All the delicious
so, yeah.
carbs.
I rediscovered pasta. I'd like to apologize to the Italian community that I was wrong. My pasta sucked and I wasn't good enough, but I'm fixing that next week, I think.
Good, I'm excited to try your pasta. I saw you made some beautiful Veggie the other day.
Or Katie, I made egg noodles and ragu 2 days ago. I can eat that every day. Noodles and ragu.
Yeah.
But not every person's ragu. It's just gotta be
Specific.
what good pasta.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
pasta. Excellent pasta.
We had pasta here at lunch staff meal and it was not great. I made it with catering leftovers. I'm just gonna say it filled the gap, but it wasn't spectacular.
Listen, that's good pasta. That's dry pasta, right?
Yeah.
Dry pasta is good pasta. Dry pasta is not fresh. Why am I talking about pasta? Dry pasta is not fresh pasta. Fresh pasta can be anywhere from delicious to sublime. And I had a lot of delicious fresh pasta. And when I say pasta, I'm talking about actual pasta itself. I'm not talking about the composition of the flavors. That's the easy part. It's not that hard. But and then there is sublime pasta, which 90%, 95%, probably 99% of you never had it. And I had it just out of luck because somebody around me decided to go there. Now I'm trying to steal this person.
Good, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going ahead pound at a time.
We ended up down this carb tunnel in this discussion so far tonight. But there's no pasta on the menu tonight.
Yeah, no.
In fact, I see very few carbs on the table at all.
There
It's
isn't.
concerning, actually.
Actually, it's in the oven.
The carbs are in the oven.
I baked not you all, obviously, to my little bottle and loaf of bread. And today, you know what? I'll just roll it over so I can show off to you a little bit. And,
It's a good looking loaf.
it is a very good looking loaf.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's like bragging, and I will brag.
Because that's what he does.
5 years! 5 years I've been eating and making bread, and the first 4 years was cosmetic and not beautiful. Why am I talking about this? How is your wife?
Carbs. My wine is delicious. My friend Kristen Lee sent us some cooking class Thursday night wine.
I love her wine.
Kristen Lee from Evolve Cellars, Time Winery in Penticton. She sent this over. I know. And you know, Kristen Lee, you met her when you were up there this summer. She's just so lovely. Her wine is fantastic. Everything about them is great. So, if you're looking for some wine to enjoy during the holidays, I would encourage you to visit the Vault Cellars. Their website is thevaultcellars.com, and their wine is exceptional. I am a sucker for their bouquet. I love it.
It is the pink effervescent one.
Yeah, well, all of their bottles are fantastic. This one here is their Cabernet Merlot. It's a 216, and it is outstanding.
It's just straight up delicious. Also, the building is quite cool. It used to be an old cinema.
Yeah, that's
movie
a good
theater?
time winery where you were.
Yeah. But this is that, right?
Yeah, same company. This is the Evolved Wineries. They own several wineries there.
I think she told me that. I was half cuts.
So that's a different show, Chef. So this wine,
That's my home show.
this Cab Merlot, I think is going to be really great with what we're cooking tonight. So we're back to this current time. No pasta, no bread. We're just talking pork.
We're cooking pork tonight, and I've got a couple of numbers that's prepared for you. First things first, I'm in love with sausages. You didn't know that. And I'll talk about like the basics of sausage making. Now at home, you don't have to case the sausages, but you can still make the meat.
Right.
Do you know how cheap a pound of pork compared to a pound of sausage? And all it takes is a little bit of work and a little bit of spice. It's just not in a casing. And I'm going to show you how to make that. And the king of sausages is obviously chorizo in agriculture. And I will show you how to make a fresh chorizo. I will show you how to make the basic tomato sauce tonight. Then I'm going to take that basic tomato sauce and I'm going to put a little Turkish presentation on it. Red and white goes well in the kitchen. And we're going to have some Instagram food. Pork chop Parmesan. Tomato sauce bubbling, the cheeses are melting, tender juicy pork chops.
Wow. We're setting this up for the big Instagram reveal later. Exciting.
If this video gets 5,000 likes, I will reveal anything you want.
Oh boy.
And anyway, and then I'm going to show you, it's a super fun dish. It is super delicious, especially if your children doesn't eat meat. It's a great way to just cover the tomato sauce, put some cheese on it, and they'll eat anything.
Cover the meat in tomato sauce and your kids will eat the meat if they don't eat meat.
They will. I mean, depends on how you cook the meat. But yeah, we're going to have a fun menu tonight.
So tonight's cooking class partner is Johnston's Pork, and if you guys know me or watched these segments before, I am a huge fan of Johnston's Pork. I'm one of their ambassadors. And my parents are really proud I'm a pork ambassador.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I love them as a company. They are super ethical. All of their product is raised here locally in the Fraser Valley. I think a little bit might come from slightly up country, but it's all pretty local. Their facility where they do all of their butchery is in Chilliwack, and you can find Johnston's Pork at fine butcher shops and retailers all over BC. So if you go into your butcher shop and you're not sure the source of the pork, ask your butcher, is this Johnston's pork, is this local pork, and they will tell you. Just because pork is slaughtered and prepared locally doesn't mean it's local pork. A lot of hogs come in from the US, a lot come in from Alberta, and they're processed in different packing facilities around that. Yeah, a lot of pork is imported. Johnston's Pork is raised local here in the Fraser Valley and is processed local out in Chilliwack. They're a really great company. So,
I love their products. They got some quirky trucks with a quirky slogans on it.
Yeah.
Don't go bacon my heart and all that stuff.
Yeah, you've probably seen them around town.
Yeah, somebody might want to put a leash on the marketing department.
That's funny. She's awesome. She does a great job.
I'm kidding. But it is quite entertaining to see them.
The marketing obviously works, Chef. You're talking about it.
You never forget your first pig.
That's true.
What is that supposed to be? It comes to victim diary.
So, yeah, my friend Bonnie Windsor, she is the brains and the beauty behind Johnston's Pork. And so she and I have done a lot together in the last 15 years. She's a really good friend, and I'm really happy to sort of wave the flag for local pork.
Absolutely.
Any chance I get.
Absolutely. And you know what? They're so affordable.
Yeah.
they're like really, really affordable. It's not one of those, artisanal products. Because some artisanal or local products is some budgets out of range from some people's budgets. But they are an incredible company. They do an incredible job at it. Great price, which is our it's my favorite great TV.
They make their value-added products are also really excellent. They make really good bacon. They make their own farmer sausage and farmeroni, which is like a pepperoni sort of. Anyhow, their products are phenomenal. So their website is johnstonspork.ca. I'll link them in the comments here, but ask your butcher where the pork is coming from, because it's really important that we are now more than ever supporting local and supporting our local farmers.
Somebody's playing wrong burgundy back there.
Yeah, David is our cameraman again tonight, and he's back there. He just took a load off. He's had a long day apparently, so he's enjoying a beverage.
He might do the Burke Reynolds shot on the carpet.
there will be no mutilating here, Chef. So
We'll put a plate on it.
stop it. Stop it. I can't even. Okay. So, if you have something to say tonight, you know the drill. You just enter it into the comment bar in the newsfeed, and we'll respond to the questions. If you have questions for Chef D, questions for me, hopefully Bonnie from Johnston's will be joining us tonight, and she can answer any sort of pork-specific type questions. But before we start, I want to wish our American friends a happy Thanksgiving.
But
It's Thanksgiving in the U.S. today.
Saturday for the turkeys.
Yeah. So David's family, David's entire family is, they're all over the U.S. His daughter's in Portland, his son's in Montana, another daughter in Arkansas. So we have family all over the country who are celebrating Thanksgiving without us, obviously, and without a lot of other people, unfortunately. They're on sort of stay-home order in Portland, and so anyhow, if you're joining us from the U.S., maybe Gladys from Albuquerque has tuned in. I know she joins us most Thursdays. Happy Thanksgiving. And in honor of American Thanksgiving, we're cooking pork instead of turkey.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let's get to work, Chef.
Let's get to work.
All right.
I can't wait. I have a fun menu.
I will take this because Nikki's still working, and I'm probably going to share with Nikki.
Sure.
Maybe I'll share
I'll work from the case,
with Nikki. Okay,
which showcases full bottles rather than half things. Yeah. Again, welcome to Thursday night, live at the Well-Seasoned Gourmet. We are covering Johnston pork. I'm really excited about this. First things first, let's get our longest cooking elements on. Now, first dish is a little fresh chorizo meatballs, and if you have the recipe, it is an incredible recipe. Stick with it, keep that recipe. And if you didn't sign up, well, you don't get the recipe. So, it is literally just good quality Johnston ground pork with spices and a little bit of technique I'm going to show you in a minute. I would like to start with how to make a perfect tomato sauce. Now, tomato sauce is a very, very personal thing to everybody. And I respect the whole family, from ketchup to the spicy variety and whatnot. But there is a basic version I think everybody should make and keep in their fridges. And from that, you can derive anything. You can add, a cup of tomato sauce or a cup of cream and a little bit of clam nectar and cook some fish in there. Now you got fish stew. You can easily turn it into a pasta dish. You can easily just bring it up to a boil, maybe cook some ground beef in it and some beans. Now you got just some chilies. You got some chili. So it's a great thing to have in the house. This is what I like in a tomato sauce. By all means, you're more than welcome to do your own version. Mine took about 35, 36 years to develop, and here I'm giving it away.
You're so good like that.
I am. I still don't have a statue under my name, but we're working on it.
Don't worry about it. We got you covered. That's on your Christmas list.
The horse on this Langley Township doesn't count.
Just a back half.
Maybe a portrait, like Megan Bush, we call it.
Like the George Costanza? You want a
Yeah.
sofa?
Yeah. Alright, let's take the cooking. Now, I am going to start about like 75 mils of extra virgin olive oil. Now, a lot of people make tomato sauces all over the world, but the Italian variety seems to be the most important. Well, feels like it. So I'm going to show you from that region. I'm also from the Mediterranean originally. At least I spent my summers there as a child. My garlic press, and I'm going to put here as many as you want. You can, but I'll put 4 cloves of garlic into my hot oil. Heating that oil. You don't want to go too high heat with your extra virgin olive oil. You can smoke it very easily, and if it smokes, the essence starts to go rancid slightly towards educated color, that is. So we're going to start from cold and drop some zested garlic in there. Ooh, that's a big boy. Drop it in there. Now you're more than welcome to slice the garlic, and if you're sensitive to garlic, what you can do is take the clove, crush it, and drop it whole so that you can pick it off at the end of the cooking process. Now to this, optional, I like fresh chilies and the accent of it in a tomato sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in some serrano chilies. Now we talked about fresh chilies. Do not grab a whole chili because the recipe is calling for it. Always cut up your chili, do a little taste test, a slice, or just touch your hand and touch it to your tongue and see how spicy that is. And then add accordingly because fresh chilies vary in spice levels. Then I'm going to take a handful of basil leaves. So the whole idea of this is to have exceptional extra virgin olive oil in my pan. And I'm also using a very wide pan, which I'm going to try using in a minute. If my girlfriend gives me ketchup.
Wow, you're being very nice to the stove tonight.
Being my girlfriend is not a very nice thing. Let me clarify that. But she is sleepy. Fine. Oh my god, a whole golden chicken. So, I'm using a shallow pan and an open pan. Now with the tomato products, the more you cook tomatoes, especially canned tomatoes, have a lot of sugars in them. And if you go too low and slow, the sugars will caramelize and they will start to burn, which is not ideal. So I usually like to keep my tomato cooking time, canned tomato cooking time to a minimal. So we need a nice thick sauce with a nice reduction. And the best way to do it is encourage evaporation just by using a shallow pan with a large surface. So, extra virgin olive oil in. After that, garlic goes in. Now I have garlic flavored oil. Chili goes in. I have chili flavored oil. Basil goes in. I have basil flavored oil. Smells like Christmas in here. Those are my tomatoes. These are Italian San Marzano style tomatoes. I put my hand in there, washed it first, and then hand crushed them. And then add it to your pan. Now with tomatoes, I'm using the Fabuzi. They're exceptional tomatoes. If your area does not have San Marzano style tomatoes or from Italian tomatoes, please use the Californian variety. Products is just as good. I don't think we have a local variety yet, do we?
No, we don't.
No. Not in the same quality.
Roma's the closest, but it's super liquidy compared to the.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that same sort of intensity of flavor.
Exactly. Also, again, your tomato sauce recipe is going to change from cans of tomato to cans of tomato because every can of tomato has a different seasoning level. Some has citric acid in it, some has a basil leaf in it. Some is slightly saltier, some is slightly sweeter. So just open up your can of tomatoes, taste it, or cook your sauce and taste it at the end and adjust your level. So,
can you talk a little bit about the quality of canned tomatoes? Like the stuff on the shelf at the grocery store, those are packed under them ripened, and then they're gassed to make them ripe in the can. The San Marzano is packed ripe, so that's where you're getting the flavor. So it costs more. How much is that can? There's probably a price on
This
it.
is $5.99.
Yeah. So
Here's the thing. If you're in Jasper in in the middle of nowhere, and that's your only option, please go with it. And if you have to go with this. But that means that if you have the variety, Italians do this thing better. The best way to have an Italian neighbor and buy passata from them. That's where most of the Northern American Italian cooking fails, because in Italy people actually grow their tomatoes most of the time if they have the space. So their recipe calling for a passata and the passata that you would buy from like a Canadian brand are not the same thing. That's where the whole thing fluctuates. When you go to Italy, the food tastes sublime because of that. But if you stick with the Italian variety, because they're very proud of their product and what they do in the country, culinary-wise, and they have little body of government called Cucina della Italia or something like that, that preserves their culinary history, as well as it documents and sets standards for all these dishes. So they're pretty proud culture with their food. So buy San Marzano style tomatoes, and if you can't find the Italian variety, Californian San Marzano style tomatoes are incredible too. There's Valrosa or there's few brands that are very, very, very good that I've been using over the years. Enough with tomatoes. For this, I pre-mix my meat. You will need to rest your meat at least 3 hours. Again, stick with the recipe. It is an incredible recipe. After you mix everything, there is a certain percentage of salt that you need to add to activate myosin in your fresh sausages, which they make glue out of it. You know when they say they make glue out of horses, that's that substance. And then you will need to wait. Once you do the mixing and wait about, I would say, a few hours, then you will need to whip the sausage mix. Normally, use a KitchenAid if you can afford one. But the other way to do it is just take your mix and slap it onto a board. Obviously, this has been worked out so that I can have the sausage texture. So at the palm of your hand, and your meat has to be not ice cold, but very, very cold all the time. Just going to start smearing on your board until from that ground meat looking substance, from that burger looking substance, and it goes to this pasty sausages. You know, I'm sure you looked into Johnston before, or break the piece and made a little pasta sauce with it, until it looks like almost like a paste that you're going to work the sausage meat. And then what I do is you just roll them into mini tiny balls. And if you were to spend half your career rolling meatballs, maybe that's not a lot, you can do 2 at a time at 1 ounce pieces. These are also made great as canapes, snacks, or whatever you're into. Now, we have the chorizo spiced meatballs. Now we need to put some color on it. Let's get rid of this contaminated board. Okay, I have another pan heating up right here. And it's quite hot. Extra virgin olive oil goes in. And then gently, again, hot oil can splatter. Please be very, very careful. And I'm going to put my mini meatballs, which I'd love to say.
Mini meatballs?
Yeah, that's a great name.
Mini meatballs.
Pita pit, mini meatballs. But I have a few names that I go with.
Pita pit is one of them? That's super random.
I like pita bread. I love the convenience of it. Mine though, I make my own pita bread. I don't know how lazy you are.
Ooh, I'm much lazier than you are.
And then, now my sauce is ruined. My meatballs are fried. Did I tell you how to be my viral on when you Ross Larkin, I'm going to call your name out, 2018 Top Chef of Canada. I used to work with him at the Cafe Medina, and one of the takeout orders, that was takeout, we usually didn't do it, but it was meatballs. So he wrote balls and sent it out. The whole thing went wild.
Why? I don't understand.
Balls.
But what happened? I don't understand what happened.
They ordered meatballs to go.
Yeah.
And he just wrote balls.
And they're like, I'm having balls for lunch, and then the whole thing goes.
Hopefully they got 3 at least.
So three times 2 ounces.
3 times 2 ounces.
So they're a big size at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. They weren't mini.
Yep.
No. We're sticking.
Yep.
They're sticking with little bite size.
I'm a little slow on the uptake today, Chef. I think I need another glass of wine.
Balls.
What do you want from me?
Bada
as you
bing.
can see, our meatballs are nicely fine. As you can see, the fat is glistening there. There's nothing. Now let's make sure that we're not getting stuck with our tomatoes. What I'm looking at with the tomato sauce is you want it to spit. Start spitting and become really, really dangerous. That's when your tomato sauce is ready. Now all this is happening, and my lovely fat from my chorizo meatballs is rendering also. I am going to I'm an avid baker, and we're going to serve our meatballs with this lovely little local bread that I have baked yesterday.
Oh, that does not look good at all. Man.
Have a moment with it. Yeah, we will be probably on, bless you, sourdough classes too at some point whenever we can have you back. But for now, you will have to call me and I will help you. I'm not. Alright, so my meatballs are fine. And my tomato sauce is almost there. Again, if you were to take a large pot and a high-sided pot, and if you were to cook your tomato sauce like this, it would have taken probably twice the time, and it will be less fresh. You do not want that. Let's grab a larger spoon. Okay. Yeah, almost there. Simple one. Now, what I'm going to do is, I am going to use my tomato sauce because it's nice, now thick and pulpy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's very hot.
Yes, it is.
9 pinches of salt, or 2. A pinch of pepper for extra 1. If the chili wasn't enough. And then what we're doing is, I am going to, you know how they say add a little bit of sugar to cut the acidity of the tomato sauce? That is unfortunately a very useless argument. That acidity of tomato is what makes it fresh. And you really want a little acidity to shine to lighten up all of your flavors. And if you can handle tomatoes acidity, stick with ketchup. That's what it's for. Alright. Now, after it's been seasoned, and I would like to show you the texture of the sauce. It hasn't quite started spitting a little bit, but if I can come to you a little bit. As you can see, it is not liquid or anything. Just like Angie said, the local ones that you might find, might be a little bit on the liquid side, but these are quite chunky, and we're reducing it to it, okay? Now from here, I'm going to take a spoon, and I'm going to put it on right on my mini chorizo meatballs, so I can marry the whole thing. I love tomato sauce.
Do your own tomato chop? I know you do some canning and pickling.
No, I don't have a supply. Also, the only tomatoes I'm truly doing love is from Milan, Stony Paradise from Corona, and he does not offer his products to. He doesn't. He's a very small amount of production. Have you ever had tomatoes?
Of course, yeah. He's famous.
Those are the tomatoes that I would can, and I don't have access to them. That kind of product. The rest of them are fun, but thinking of the good quality canned tomato, I think you can just skip that. Skip that whole step.
The canned tomatoes have definitely improved. The ones that are on the market,
Yeah,
the San
absolutely.
Marzanos, they're really delicious.
Absolutely. So, from here, my meatballs are cooked. Also, all that lovely chorizo fat is rendering down and also being mixed into my tomato sauce. Again, before we serve it, just like any other good cook, let's just taste it. Well, oh,
My mouth waters when you make that face.
that is so tasty.
It
Well,
smells delicious in here.
Let's just take it to the next level.
You can smell the paprika in the meatballs and the tomatoes and the fresh basil.
I mean, also with that,
Yeah.
there's no way that it's going to go sideways. You know? It's shiny, it's got all the fat in it, and this and that. Now let's serve our friends. But first, I have the last condimento. Yogurt. I love to eat. I'm Turkish, so we eat a lot of yogurt with savory things. It's just like having a sour cream on the table at all times. But I also use it as a sauce a lot. And then to this yogurt, I'm going to add a raw garlic. You can totally skip the step and live less dangerously. But I cannot not do this without garlic. Fresh garlic is one of the greatest accents in food. Alright. We're going to plate this thing and serve our friends. What I would like to do,
It's good to be your friend.
thank you, sir, likewise. Likewise. Let me taste my yogurt. Pinch my salt. Okay, so, right in the middle of the plate, and what I do is, I just smear it around the plate. Okay. Just make a little bit of creamy deliciousness. Now from here, meatballs with a nice little sauce. Don't skip. Don't skimp when we feed our friends. But you have to be also respectful to not overfeed people. This is not a cool thing to do. In my culture, if you don't eat your food, they get mad at you. Well, that's not the case here today. I'm going to save 5 bowls for myself. And then let's grab a handful of mint. Mint is going to take this dish to the next level. And I like it, you know me by now. And here. If you like, see that. Then just draw a bunch of mint. Oh no, in the plate, in the plate. A little bit of olive oil. Here, place it. So that's that. And the last but not least, my tomato sauce is finally completely ready. Last but not least, this little monster, and I would like you to hear the noise.
Very proud of that logo.
I like how you held that up to the mic to do that. Yes.
I'm not proud of it.
Yes. You should be, yes.
Well, let's see the crew.
Hold on.
Smells incredible.
All the COVID carbs right there. Do you use whole wheat in there, Chef? It looks a little
Rye and whole wheat.
Okay.
And then got a big, thick slices of bread too. So they can mop up all the sauce on the plate. Number 2.
All the COVID carbs right now.
You know what? Let's just stick with the 2, and then the rest we will eat.
I'll just be over here with the bread, Chef.
She doesn't even want to get up. How?
I'm coming.
No, you don't have to. Okay, if you want.
I'm coming to do my usual quality control. Where you can David?
May God.
I want you to kill David.
Some cyanide in there.
Holy. These are mini.
Well, you gotta have a few of them. Here, let me cut you a piece of bread.
That's what she said.
You might get heckled for that. Put a little butter bread. And just dip in the sauce and tomatoes and all that.
Oh my gosh. Is the spice just in the sauce or is there?
It's in the chorizo, it's in the tomato sauce with the serrano, it's in the black pepper boardness. It's just a balance of 17 things together.
Oh,
Good stuff.
good job on the bread.
All right.
I need a moment with the bread.
I'll have a cigarette.
Mhm.
Very good. We have some new people watching us tonight.
Who are those new people?
Well, Derek is here. Hi, Derek.
Right there.
Thanks for joining us. And talking a bit, Derek mentioned some background noise and stuff. I'm sorry, the store is still open because it's close to Christmas. We extend our hours in the evening. So if there's a bit of background noise tonight, I apologize for that, but the store is still open. Mickey's out there working, Sandra's here working, so I feel a bit guilty eating just for a minute or two. That'll pass, I'm sure. But that's contributing to some of the background noise. So I'm sorry, it's not usually like that. But hang with us, turn up your volume, maybe put on your headphones, and pour yourself a glass
Well,
of
let me
wine.
get into your head.
I'll be over here with my bread and my balls.
All right, bread balls. She's up. Awesome. Now, Angie mentioned guilt. As your friend, let me just give you an advice: get rid of guilt. It's a horrible feeling, makes you do very, very wrong things. Be a cat. You don't feel good. And everybody seems to love it. Now, next one is one of my favorites. I like roasted meat smothered in cheese with tomato sauce.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't, right? Now I got 2 double chops that's been pounded out to like 3/4 of an inch. Heavily salt on one side and heavily salt on the other side. I got a little nice little pan that's heating up here. And you know what's the best part? Because I'm a smart cookie, I have made not 1 liter of sauce and used it up, but I made 10 liters of sauce, put 9 of them in the freezer, and then on the way to work in the morning, I pulled one out, I came back, I picked up 2 pork chops and a couple slices, 1 loaf of bread, and a little bit of vegetation. I'm about to eat in, I don't know, in a matter of 10 minutes, which you will see in a minute. Now, my pork chops, Johnston, double cut. I take the second bone off and then pound them lightly. I don't pound them because I'm concerned about the doneness, but I pound them to give a little bit of larger surface so it kind of looks slightly bigger. Now, this being said, you can do this with the skinny chops, just adjust your cooking time, or you can do this with a massive triple chop that will also be like a roast and super, super, super delicious.
So the advantage of buying your pork from your butcher is you can request the thickness of your chop.
Absolutely.
When you buy it at the grocery store prepackaged, you get what is available. But if you know your butcher, you can go in and say, hey, dude, cut me some chops.
You know that used to be the whole practice, especially when you go to Turkish butchers and ask for meat. They ask you, what are you going to cook? You can't ask for a certain part of the animal. Right. You're like, I'm going to make this stew because I got you. Then they usually got you. And if you really push the agenda, they feel really, really offended. Which is We're done. One day in my father's village. It's a small village. I would say about like 3,000 people. My uncle sent me to the butcher shop because I go buy some lamb chops. I said, well, hi. I went to the butcher. I said, could you just give me 2 kilograms of lamb chops? He looks at me and goes like, no. I'm like, why? He's like, if I sell you the chops, who's going to buy the rest? So in like very small towns, you just roll into a butcher shop, and what they usually do is you either on the bone, off the bone, or ground. And if you're a good customer, you might get 2 chops. Which my uncle was, so I just bought the 2 kilo chops, but I had to twist his arm and be unpleasant for a second. Alright, my pan is quite hot, as you can see, it is.
One of your girlfriends cooperating.
Oh man, finally, it was about time. Oh, I should be fired. And again, I'm dealing with heat, hot meat and moisture product, high moisture product. Cut, lay it away, and don't be scared. Because if you're like intimidated, as you're laying away, a little fat hits you and you just drop the chop, now you might have a little bubbly hand, as we say in the business. Alright, so, my pork is well on its way. Are there any questions, Angie? Why is everyone so quiet tonight?
Sorry, Chef, I'm busy.
Fair enough.
Sarah says where she lives, she has to buy whole lamb to get the good stuff, but she says good news, there's lots of good local lamb, so here in Langley, there's some really great lamb producers who will sell you a whole lamb or half a lamb. You can just buy it and have them butcher it to sort of how you use it, I guess. But
And also, butchery is I know it irritates some people, and it's not the easiest job. But if you have a heart for it, that is how you get the best bang for your buck. Buy a meat grinder, buy whole cuts, and that's what YouTube is for. Just go wild with it, you know.
yeah, people have nothing else to do right now during COVID.
Yeah, that's what I do. When I don't buy pork chops.
Can I get some
buy,
some cutlery?
Oh, David didn't get any cutlery. David's
Or-
dying over
or
there.
food?
I'm a
Yeah.
He's got a week of meatballs and no way to eat them. Poor little guy.
And I even drank his whiskey tonight. Yeah, we've been partying before this year. Anyway,
Gotta keep the cameraman happy.
otherwise we can't see ourselves.
He'll just shut this show down.
But he's been looking at you for the last, I would say that like 15 minutes though.
Yeah, he's
I
wasting
see
away.
it, so I was just like, I'm like, what's he trying to say?
He's wasting away, obviously.
Thank you.
Well, I'm writing an episode. Alright, let's just, we done the, now the first side, as you can see how beautifully caramelized that is. Mind you though, what I'm also doing is really rendering my fat into the pork as well. And this is one of the new things that we started to do, that we stopped getting rid of animal fat that has been reduced, but always reuse it. Take the pork fat, your bacon fat, as long as you don't burn it, cook your vegetables the next day. It is free, it's there. You're right?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's free and it's there.
Let's go.
People are working here, so I have to come and go from the closet. Yeah.
Anyway, so the pork chop first side, 3 minutes. I would say when you're looking at a chop or any piece of meat, if you're around an inch or slightly less of an inch, for a nice medium, it takes about 3.5 to 4 minutes per side. We've done our first side, or you can bake them to about 140 or I keep it at 130 overnight, that is. Right, the importance of having a meat crow is crucial. Now, while all this is happening, let's talk about some greens. Who else is excited as greens? Like I do, right? I actually love greens. I love it. after moving to West Coast, I learned all about Chinese greens or like Asian style greens which I've never had experience before, such as bok choy, gai lan, su choy, pea tips, Shanghai bok choy. Like they're fascinating the cook which they make instant meal, and it is nice to be able to have another option rather than only spinach, broccoli, and carrot. You might need to do a little bit of look around. I went to a Taiwan food fair and gai lan was on sale. Your recipe suggests rapini. Unfortunately, they didn't have the rapini. So today what we're sticking is good old gai lan. Gai lan is one of these greens. They go super fat. They have incredible flavor.
Gai lan is also known as Chinese broccoli. So it's if you don't see it as gai lan in the supermarket, sometimes it's Chinese broccoli.
Absolutely. And bok choy is a cross between broccoli and what was it?
Charred?
No. It is. It's literally bread and stuff like this. This is design. Broccoli and I'll learn that for the next week. So now let's take a temperature of our pork. Doesn't matter how professional you are. If you're charging people money for food, you might as well deliver precisely. Which, believe it or not, professionals always rely on technology. And if they're not, they might be running the same station for the last, for a while. Unless you work in a steakhouse, please use a frog. Because that's the easiest way to tell your doneness. Now we're sitting around at 110 minutes. Anyway, back to Chinese greens. These are widely available all around. All you need to do is bring them home, give them a rinse, dry them well, and then you can just literally just fry them in the pan, which I'm going to do with the pork fat today. So I'm not going to use, I'm going to keep my extra virgin olive oil squeezed for the morning for my breakfast. That's better for my budget. But I already have my fat of pork. I'm bringing my tomato back to where it belongs. So I got a little simmer, so I'm not losing some oven time. Okay? Alright, we're golden. We're looking around 120 Fahrenheit right now. More than 114, but Any questions? Everybody's quiet?
Clark says kale and broccoli is gai lan. No, Chinese broccoli is gai lan. Kale's not broccoli.
Okay.
Kale's kale.
Okay. Kale is kale.
Is it in the broccoli family?
No.
No.
I have it up. I don't know why she would say that.
She's asking.
Oh, that's a question.
Oh.
No, I don't think kale. I'm not botanist. Is that what they call it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a botanist, but I don't think they have the same.
You can play one on TV.
After 8. I have a different name. You know what, Nick? Have you ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race? It's one of the greatest programs ever out there. I really miss that dance.
Is it not on anymore?
I don't know why he does anymore. We used to watch him at Boys and Girls Night.
Chef Clark would like to know what temperature you're looking for on the top.
I usually, so now, just because I'm going to put these back in the oven for about like 3 to 4 minutes, I'm looking around 120, 125, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there, but I just want to make sure that we're properly cooked so that our guests don't get eerie. Yeah.
Clark is also a RuPaul fan.
Is it? Is she?
Yeah.
I knew it, Bart. I knew we would get along all the way. Alright, my chops are done. Now, what I'm going to do is, it is present in your pan, but I really want to utilize that pork fat for my gai lan.
good does this
How
look?
good does this look?
It looks excellent.
Right?
Yes.
It is, it's going to set us back up, I would say, $9. And we have a meal for two. And if you were to just like buy this whole, make all those trimmings, those meatballs would cost you only the spice price. So, which is important. Now, comes the fun part, covering things in tomato sauce. One of my favorite activities.
This is one of your favorite activities?
Yeah, I don't do much. I don't have too many friends or...
Poor Chef.
I'm not saying that just to get some sympathy. Just saying. I prefer animal. Animal, right?
So the pork chops were cooked to about 125 degrees.
125 degrees,
Now you're covering it with the tomato sauce and you're going to pop them back in the oven.
which is my favorite activity, so that's mention that.
Your
Well,
favorite
look at this.
activity.
Have a peek. I just, the odor is so delicious as it. Now I'm gonna get some buffalo mozzarella. Can you use regular mozzarella? Absolutely. If you don't have the buffalo version, try to pick a fresh mozzarella. And if you can't find it, regular stuff. Right? It's fine. It's fine. Just use it. Or any young melting cheese for this application is equally as good. Cheese level depends on you. A little bit of that, a little bit of Parmesan. Okay? I don't see any harm coming from this dish. Look at this. And then a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Sauteing, fry. Very good. Now this goes under my broiler for about 3 to 4 minutes. That's that. In that 3 to 4 minutes, just like a responsible cook, I'm not going to sit around. Fry. Again, my pork fat rendered from my chops. I'm going to grab my garlic, my serrano, and this is anchovy paste. And also I'm going to use a couple basil leaves also. I'm going to add my garlic to my anchovy paste. Right. That's 2 cloves of garlic.
So anchovy paste versus fresh anchovies, Chef.
Fresh anchovies you cannot get in Canada unless you find that weird freezer and superstore in the back of the bottom of the freezer. You can find them. Fresh anchovies being canned anchovies, right?
Right.
Canned
Whole
anchovies.
ones, yeah.
Fresh anchovies are just fresh fish. They're not going to act like anchovies. Salt fat anchovies, the regular anchovies, is great for this application. They're cheap, they're available, and you can find them almost anywhere now.
The good thing about paste is it's easy just to keep in the fridge. It comes in a tube like toothpaste.
Yeah, you just have to, you don't have to mince it or anything.
Right.
You can use this sauce instead, by all means. And if you can't find any of the above, Worcestershire sauce is just fun. It's a great sauce. Now, my hot pan, my pork fat spot, I'm dropping in my gailan. I'm going to drop a handful of chilies because it's going to be nice and spicy. Okay? A few basil leaves because we have basil everywhere, just for an accent. Now, I'm not going to go hot.
Barb is quoting you now, Chef. She says, Chef Deniz says don't pay more than $4 for anchovies.
No. No, God, no. I went to Renzuzo's the other day. Franco sold me a $12 Sardinian anchovy. Beautifully packaged. Artisanale, chipotle, whatever. You know what it tastes like?
Anchovies.
Anchovies. Yeah. So, just chill out. There is great products that you can drop your money off, such as that. a whole Johnston's pork rack, Johnston baby back ribs, and this and that. Save your money for, support local business, but don't support them just for the sake of supporting them. They have to deliver their value, and their product has to be up to par. And that's, I don't sound harsh, but that's a good lesson for that. And just good stuff, you know what I mean?
Yep. You have to provide value.
Value is 2020. Everybody wants value. But if you're not offering value,
But value doesn't get cheap.
every product that has a price point, every product has a value price point. You know, a Ferrari does that. You know, it doesn't matter. So, I'm sorry, this Serrano is crying really, really hard. But as you can see, I'm not scared of the temperatures. And it is nicely charred. I didn't want to add my garlic yet because I don't want to burn it. Garlic and anchovy paste goes in. What I'm going to do is take the tiniest amount of water just to put it in to create a steam. Not to boil them or anything. Maybe another glass of water. And grab the heat up. You want your greens cooked, somewhat tender, but also a lot of sassy snap.
Sassy snap.
Sassy snap like this. Just like that.
Do that one more time. How is it?
That's one. I will not tell you the story behind that. Very inappropriate.
Oh, you just did it on camera though. So yeah.
It's one of my
I think that's going to be a meme.
Sassy snap. Chef D's sassy snap.
Anyway,
Are you okay with this one?
I am fun.
Well, come on.
I got the job, huh?
You got the job.
That's word buddy my job.
Buddy, I know you love that word. Buddy!
Nah,
That's Chef's least favorite word.
do you like that?
No, it's terrible.
It's a word of endearment apparently, but I've never seen a level conversation between two adult males, one referring to the other one as a buddy.
Oh, dude, you gotta have better friends, bud. You
You
gotta have better friends. You gotta have better friends, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, don't do that, man. I'm not gonna get used to it anytime soon.
Mhm.
But you guys knock yourselves out. Be the best buddy you could ever be. I would call a puppy buddy, or I would call a child buddy, or somebody. Anyway, let's not do that. That's my.
Reading in the Serranos now.
I haven't seen it. It's just.
Thanks for not going there, bud.
Especially butt hitting and gracious people. My brain boils. But since you don't know the rules and regulations, we'll just let you fly by.
I just don't play by the rules.
Well, I just ate 800 meatballs.
Alright. I think we're ready. You're not hungry for food, but let me just serve them. That all changes when we come up guns of later.
Well, as soon as I see the chalk with the melty cheese, I know I'm going to change my tune.
You better. Just like George Costanza said,
Well,
I don't care, you get in the mood.
What?
You never seen that episode?
No.
close up on
So
that.
Jerry sleeps with Elaine, and then he just mentions it to George. And George but tell me the details because I'm not in the book, man. He just moves the shit, but you better fucking get it. Big pork chop Parmesan,
Look at that. Johnston's pork.
all the why. It's Serrano's, sorry. whoever's coughing out there.
Everybody's coughing.
All right, let's just.
And by the way,
at the front of the store, and she's coughing.
Barb's cat is called Buddy.
Barb's cat.
Yep,
One of my all-time favorite guitar players is called
Buddy guy. Yeah.
He's been great. I'm not gonna waste this cheese, but let's probably go to Miss America over there.
Miss America.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you call Nikki now?
No, I'm calling it Dave.
Oh, Dave.
That's what you get.
Yeah, that's better than Buddy.
True.
And then, again, you can do this with Rapini, you can do this with
Miss America.
What state would
What state am I from?
you be if you were to be Miss America?
Oh. You know, honestly, I haven't put much thought into that there, buddy. Yeah.
So, Chef Barb says this is going to be her Christmas dinner. She's excited about this.
I mean, when you look at this can easily make a really nice steakhouse plate. And I can, I'll probably get a good $32 out of this from your our cash. But,
I'm not paying. What?
oh, you already did.
No!
The money's in the bank. There's no going back now. And I'm Turkish and I don't do refunds. Alright, sir. There's your plate for if you want to go a little close up.
Aren't you serving that with any bread? Asking for a friend?
The bread's over there.
There's none left.
None sliced. What am I going to feed it to you now? No.
Wow, look at that.
Doesn't it look good?
It's beautiful. And yeah, really beautiful. And, you know, this is every Thursday night. I think, well, there's not a lot of ingredients here. There's not a lot of food. The chef's super cheeky, super cocky, but we're going to see how this works out.
I don't take criticism. Your opinion is worthless to me. So just so you know.
And every week it works out. You know,
Without the holidays.
I didn't even bring that up once tonight.
Daddy issues. It's embedded in there. I had to tap this child. Okay, come on, let's go.
He's traumatized.
Come on, let's go.
I'm not traumatized. I had the best child.
Can you just cut a little piece off that top for me? Do it yourself. It's a DIY thing now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
Do it
You
just.
got me out to Langley and cook
Yeah.
all of this for me.
Yep, here's your knife, buddy.
I will eat your pork chop if you say it one more time. And I will come to your house and eat all your carrots too.
Call this parrot. Please give me a pork chop tonight. No.
Yeah, there is good.
This is so good. Barb, this is Christmas dinner worthy for sure.
Do you want to do this for Christmas? I can't do a chocolate.
This is beautiful. But you know what? When you start with really good ingredients, you don't need a lot of them. You can see, I don't know if David can get close on that, how moist that chop is inside. But what was the finished cooking temp on that?
125, and then it went in under the broiler for about 4 minutes while I was cooking the Quaale. So it's probably around 140 barely. Now,
You want a little bit of pink inside the chop. You don't want to cook the chop until it's dry and bone white.
you know what? Whatever you're comfortable with. Now, let me tell you, with all the experience between all of us you have, that we suggest that you eat your pork chops around 135 to 140. But if it bothers you, cook it whatever you like. You're sentenced to eat dry pork chops. That's no problem. It's okay, right? I'm getting sassy, right?
I grew up eating pork chops that were cooked to death. And I didn't like them for a long time until I learned how to cook them myself. And then I make really good pork chops now, and we cook them on barbecue, cook them all kinds of ways, but it's because we're not overcooking them.
Also, there is, okay, can I just, we were running out of time, but something well done not necessarily needs to be abused by people. Your well done scale starts at 148 Fahrenheit. If you can keep that under 160, you will have juicy meat regardless if it's well done or not. So if you're eating a steak, if you like well done, there's nothing wrong with it. And those people in the kitchen are telling you to screw up, you're paying a bill. That's your plate of food, and you're more than welcome to have whatever you want. But well done doesn't mean that you have to take it up to 250 pounds an hour.
Right.
That's just disrespectful and unkind to a dead animal that's already dead. So as long as you keep it from 148 to 160, you will still have it well done, juicy pork chop. I personally promise you. All you need to do is come down to Well-Seasoned Gourmet, grab this, grab some Johnston pork, go home and surprise yourself. Hey, I have the technology on my side now. I know what's going on. Rather than
This is your best friend. You need this in your life. And you don't have to spend a fortune. They start at $10. And you need a digital thermometer.
You shouldn't cook with that one.
Excuse me.
I can't cook with that one.
Yeah.
I'm a professional. I've been cooking for 15 years. I still, like, I'm coming to your wedding. I'm charging you arm on the leg, can I say that? Whatever. It's quite an amount of bill to pay. Of course, I'm going to have a thermometer to gauge your roast. I'm not going to just
Yes.
yes, after you being there. You don't want food to be a focal point. You're wedding there, and it has to be perfect. Unfortunately, I paid $100 per person. Had an overcooked strip one.
It happens.
Mexican greens with sun-dried tomato vinaigrette. And a broken marriage of the center. I'm kidding. Alright, let's just wrap it up.
Baby violins coming out now. So, this pork chop is delicious. It's a really good classic kind of chop that's been treated really well. So the fresh tomato sauce with the serrano chilies and then the fresh mozzarella, the greens on the side. Can I tell you, the meatballs, they were delicious. But you know what made that dish? The yogurt.
The yogurt.
Is it?
Yeah.
I agree.
The yogurt and the fresh mint made that dish. I mean, the meatballs on their own would have been really good, but the yogurt was like next level.
It is. That's how we eat things. We eat a lot of yogurt, and I've been introducing them. It's great with dumplings. It's great with meat. It's just you people never have done it
You
before.
people. I'm you people now.
Oh, I am you people now too. It's been 20 years. So I'm just Canadian.
We're all you people. God.
And so the yogurt is just a straight up plain Greek style yogurt.
No. There's a Quaale garlic, pinch of salt, and probably a squeeze of lemon juice, a little bit in there.
Holy, I'm still breathing in the serrano, sorry.
Oh, we had a little cold.
Stupid.
No, I'm kidding. No, we're not.
You can't joke about that. Everybody here's perfectly healthy.
Sure you can, buddy.
Miss America. Okay. Another great evening tonight, Chef. Thank you very much for this. What are we cooking next week? Do you know?
I don't know. Let me ask Miss Ohio over there.
Uh,
I don't know. You tell me. You give me the heads up on Saturdays. I write the menu on Sundays, and I submit the recipes by Tuesday afternoon. And I'm really lazy Wednesday morning.
Okay, so we'll do that system again this week. But I want to tell you, so well-seasoned, we've been doing our weekly takeout meals. So since everybody's sort of been in, semi-lockdown, whatever, from COVID, I think everybody could use a break and a change of pace at their dinner table. So on Fridays, we do a weekly takeout meal. And the meal can be picked up Friday or Saturday. We make everything from scratch here in our kitchen. And we've started doing a guest chef series for our weekly meals. So
That's the first one.
guess who's doing next week's weekly meal? So this week, our dinner tomorrow, tomorrow's Friday, is made by Chef Sarah, who works here full time. She's making a really delicious prawn chowder with kale and sweet potato salad, and pastry chef Melissa is making butterscotch pork creme. So I think you can still order that until 9 o'clock tonight if you're interested. But next Friday night, Chef D is doing the meal of the week. He's our guest chef, and he's making chicken and sausage jambalaya. And
Sweet nuts is jambalaya from Seinfeld.
ah.
Right?
the full Costanza you're gonna get next Friday night. So we're gonna do a mixed veggie salad with Chef's jambalaya, and our pastry chef Melissa is making. We saved some really beautiful plums from the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
So we froze them because they were so good this year. So we put some plums in the freezer, and so Melissa's gonna make an oven roasted plum pavlova to go with your jambalaya. So if you want Chef D's dinner next week, pop onto the Well Seasoned website, go to our weekly meals, and order
How late can they order?
up until Thursday, up until Thursday next week. So you've got a bit of time to get your order in. But we only make 40 meals. So each meal is dinner for two. It costs $42. It is the best deal in town. And you get a 3-course meal for two for $42. It's an awesome deal.
It is a great deal for $21.
And this guy's going to be cooking next weekend. So hop onto our website and order your dinner. I will report back what we're cooking in this class Thursday Night Live soon, because I don't know off the top of my head. This is my second glass of wine. And I'm
That's the second inch of
my second inch of wine.
Alright, let's wrap it up. Come on.
So thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you to Johnston's Pork. Ask your butcher, ask your grocery store where the pork is coming from. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
It was good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right here next Thursday.